okay. But when you find someone like, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, I have to lean towards Canelo.
You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow, over a long period of time, Canelo beats himself.
Canelo snapped back at Terence Crawford during the press conference, insisting Crawford is not on his level. He expressed disdain for fighters who focus only on surviving 12 rounds without delivering a competitive, exciting fight. According to Canelo, such cautious tactics lead to boring matches that disappoint fans looking for a great show. Brook, who has first-hand experience in the ring with elite fighters like Gennady Golovkin and Terence Crawford, offered a stark warning about the upcoming bout between Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Brook emphasized that this fight presents a completely different challenge compared to Crawford's previous encounters. According to Brook, Canelo's style is unique and fundamentally different from the opponents Crawford has faced before. Unlike Crawford, who is shorter in stature and relies heavily on skill and speed, Canelo brings a blend of power, ring intelligence, and tactical versatility that sets him apart.
It's a wow. It's a wow fight, It's two supreme athletes fighting against each other, but you've got to sway towards Canelo. Crawford's gonna have to, move up, and I knew when I boxed Golovkin, there's a big difference, especially with someone that, fighting a middleweight, a mediocre world champion's okay, but when you're fighting someone like, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, I have to lean towards Canelo, but Crawford's very, very, very good.
Do you think Crawford's still got the legs? Obviously, he's very much got great IQ in the ring.
Brook highlighted that Canelo's ability to adapt mid-fight and impose his will physically creates a demanding environment for any boxer. Facing a strong, versatile fighter like Canelo requires a different mindset and preparation. Brook expressed his belief that, given these favorably, to match Canelo's approach. The warning to Crawford was clear. This is not the same kind of opponent he has faced before.
He's still got the legs to be maybe outmoving Canelo if he needs to.
Well, I don't know. I think when we look back at Mayweather when he beat Canelo, he's a mover. Crawford's not really like Mayweather in that aspect. He's more, he kind of sets his feet. He's cute with how he approaches, chucking shots and moving. I think it's a different fight to Mayweather, and Canelo's obviously a different fighter from when he boxed Mayweather. But like I say, it's one of them what we've got to tune into and watch. Both unbelievable fighters, but I'd have to favour Canelo. Just his size and his experience, and just his ring generalship. He's got confidence. He's big.
Veteran commentator Jim Lampley has voiced strong confidence in Canelo Alvarez's ability to secure a victory over Terence Crawford. Lampley pointed out that while Crawford is an extraordinary talent with a remarkable record, Canelo possesses a combination of experience, physicality, and mental toughness that makes him a formidable opponent in this matchup. Lampley believes that Canelo's history of competing against and defeating top-tier fighters across multiple weight classes gives him an edge. His ring IQ and ability to control pace and space inside the ring allow him to dictate the fight's rhythm, something Lampley sees as a critical factor. Furthermore, Lampley mentioned that Canelo's defensive skills and counter-punching prowess could neutralize Crawford's offensive arsenal. Ultimately, Lampley's analysis suggests that Canelo's well-rounded game, despite Crawford's undeniable skills.
He's a great defender. He has the most solid punch resistance of anybody in the sport. Nobody's ever knocked him off balance. Nobody's ever really knocked him down. There's only one official knockdown in his career, and it was because he bounced off the ropes when Jose Cotto hit him with a hard shot to the chest. And the referee employed a strict interpretation of the rules and said, oh, the ropes held you up, so that's a knockdown. He's never been put on his back by anybody. He rides horseback every morning. His legs are the strongest in the sport. You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time Canelo beats himself. If he gets tired of all the discipline he has had to employ to make all the money he's made, if he has enough giant ranches in the Yucatan, if he has enough beautiful horses, if he has had enough unforgettable dinners with Mexican billionaires in Mexico City and Vegas, then maybe. But my guess is he will retire without incurring another loss, because it's important to him to do that.
Which implies you like him against Bud Crawford.
I do like him against Bud Crawford, but I do think that it's a great fight. Now, I could change my mind when we get closer. Bud Crawford, to me, is a latter-day Sugar Ray Robinson. He has the multiple skills of Sugar Ray Robinson. He can defend or attack. He has a deep inner mean streak that he can employ at any moment in a fight to get what he wants. You know, before the fight against, help me out here,
Madrimov was his last fight. Spence?
Spence.
Yes.
Before the fight against Errol Spence, there were quite a lot of people in the sport, in boxing media, who were saying, you know, I like Spence to win the fight. I was one of those people who said, no way. Errol Spence doesn't have the depth.
Terence Crawford's career speaks volumes about his talents and accomplishments. He has demonstrated exceptional boxing skills, power, and ring adaptability throughout his journey, earning his place among the sport's elite. Yet, there's a paradox in how Crawford's fighting style is perceived by the public. While Crawford's technical prowess and tactical brilliance are widely recognized within boxing circles, the general audience often overlooks these attributes in favor of flashier, more aggressive styles. Crawford tends to approach fights with calculated precision, blending defense with sharp counters and strategic pressure. This methodical style, although effective, is sometimes criticized for lacking excitement, as it doesn't always deliver high-octane action that casual fans crave. This disconnect means that many fans don't fully appreciate the skill set Crawford brings to the ring.
Crawford, on the other hand, he has been walking down his fighters, and people don't see that but me. For some reason, when I had that tape, people were screaming cat. And it's like David Ebenezer, Errol Spence, Sean Porter, Gamboa, a meme machine. Even against Madrimov, the way he won the fight was by fighting. It wasn't Floyd Mayweather sticking. This guy has been too athletically gifted, and I mean explosive, hard punching, and too strong for his ops. When he's in orthodox, he boxes more. When he switched, he becomes a puncher. And now he's coming out southpaw. He ends you. He is not, you gotta watch him fight. He does do athletic things where his hands and his feet work together, and he catches you for sure. But what he mostly do is he punishes and he bullies his op, because he walks you down and whips your ass. He's an ass whipper.
Boxing analyst Bomac offers a contrasting viewpoint, recognizing Canelo's talents while emphasizing Crawford's superior technical skills. According to Bomac, Canelo is undoubtedly a top-level fighter, but Crawford's precision, speed, and ring generalship give him the edge in this matchup. Bomac highlights Crawford's motivation and preparation leading into the fight, noting that Crawford has consistently demonstrated a high level of focus and readiness when stepping into the ring. This mental sharpness, combined with his refined skill set, allows Crawford to dictate fights and outthink opponents. While Canelo's power and experience make him a dangerous adversary, Bomac believes that Crawford's strategic approach and technical proficiency could prove decisive, especially if Crawford executes his game plan effectively. This analysis underscores the tactical battle that could unfold, rather than a straightforward power contest.
This fight with Canelo Alvarez, it was interesting to see the comments from Canelo on how he sort of assessed Bud Crawford's career. I almost feel after the Spence fight that was like an exclamation point on everything he's done, maybe from the critics who never gave him credit, but it almost seems like Canelo was downplaying his achievements. What do you make of that? Is that to build a fight? Because it sells itself.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I think Crawford rebuttal was everybody always say he hasn't fought nobody, or no, everybody that he fought was a no name. But I'm gonna tell you like this: what Crawford said. Well, they was something until Crawford fought him. So obviously he's doing a great job, because he's making everybody look normal.
Not everyone, like when they go against Canelo, you know, I don't think there's anyone else in boxing who you would ask and say this is a possible task for. But for Crawford, because of his pound for pound abilities, and apparently no rehydration clause. Am I hearing that right? He wants full smoke at that weight.
Let's go, man. That's what Crawford wants. He wants to show the world that he's the best. So, hey, why put stipulations in there when you know that you can be the best? So, let's go test ourselves.
Look, I appreciate you taking this time. We don't get to speak all the time, so it's good to get you over here. And maybe we'll catch up later in fight week, but I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right.
Canelo Alvarez's business manager, widely known for managing one of boxing's wealthiest careers, made significant claims about Canelo's physical advantages ahead of the Crawford fight. The manager stressed that Canelo's physique is uniquely built to withstand punishment and avoid damage, a trait that sets him apart from many fighters in the sport.
I hope that Crawford didn't get any ideas from Skull. I don't think he did. I think Crawford is a hell of a fighter, and it's going to be a hell of a fight.
How does weight play a part in that fight?
Oh, what?
How does weight play a part in that fight, do you feel?
Weight?
Weight. The size difference.
Oh, no, I don't think that, that doesn't, like you saw today, the guy was like, I don't know how much taller. It didn't really play into it either. But Crawford is a hell of a fighter, and you saw today when they did the face-off in the ring, they're virtually height-wise, they are virtually the same. Crawford might even be a little bit taller, but when you look at Canelo, the way he's built, I mean, his legs, his shoulders, his neck, that is why he's never been hurt. And he's never been hurt fighting fighters at a substantially higher weight, substantially bigger than him, and they still couldn't hurt him.
Yeah.
And then you look at Crawford, who is a smaller guy, is moving up 2 weight classes, tried at 154, barely won, couldn't hurt Madrimov, and now he's going to go against the guy with the best chin in the sport. That's why probably odds maker have Canelo as a favorite. But having said all of that, Crawford is just a hell of a fighter. I was there when he fought, I was ringside when he fought Spence.
According to the manager, Canelo's conditioning, muscle structure, and defensive awareness have allowed him to escape serious injury even when facing heavy hitters. This durability is seen as a critical asset that could prove decisive against Crawford, who is noted to be physically smaller and less imposing. The manager also referenced Crawford's recent performances. This point is used to argue that Crawford might lack the physicality needed to overcome Canelo's robust frame and resilience.
The way he just totally neutralized Spence's strengths was absolutely, it was breathtaking to watch this. So Crawford is a very skilled fighter, very smart fighter, but again, he's never fought anybody like Canelo. You look at Canelo's resume. Canelo fought, now it's 21 former or current world champions. There's only 2 fighters in the history of boxing who have more than that. One of them is Floyd Mayweather with 24, and the other one is Manny Pacquiao with 23. And he's the only active fighter who fought so many world champions. So I think experience will play a big factor as well. You look at Canelo's resume, but it is, I think, the biggest fight that can be made. I think it's the biggest fight the sport has seen going back to as long as I can remember. I think it's just simple. And I've done some big fights with Floyd Mayweather, and I did Floyd Mayweather and Canelo. I promoted that, so I think this one is bigger than that.
Analysts universally acknowledge Terence Crawford as an exceptional fighter, possessing elite skills and ring intelligence. However, the upcoming bout presents challenges, particularly because Crawford is moving up in weight to face Canelo, who is widely regarded as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in boxing history. Experts suggest that Crawford will rely heavily on his tried-and-true game plan, as making significant adjustments at this stage of his career, especially when stepping into a higher weight class, would be risky and potentially detrimental. Crawford's approach has consistently emphasized precision, counter-punching, and tactical patience, elements he will likely stick to against Canelo. The difficulty of adapting to a new weight while facing a physically imposing and experienced champion like Canelo creates a complex scenario. Analysts speculate that Crawford's ability to implement his familiar strategy effectively without overextending himself will be crucial for his success.
How is Terence Crawford going to beat Canelo Alvarez? We need to talk about it. When we look at the guys who've had success with Canelo, we'll look at Bivol, we'll look at Golovkin, we'll look at Floyd, and we'll look at Lara. Yes, I'll throw Lara in there, why not? I think all these fights are absolutely irrelevant coming into this bout. Some of them are just dated, or some of these guys' style just cannot apply. For example, a guy in Lara. If Crawford wanted to fight how Lara fought Canelo, he would probably gas out in 7 rounds, or if he made it 12, he just wouldn't get that decision. It's that simple. Let's take a guy in Golovkin. Crawford just simply does not have the punching power, nor do I think he has the gas tank at 68. He's not a good enough puncher to try to fight Canelo like Golovkin. He doesn't have the physical traits, even in the chin department. Then you have Floyd Mayweather. Well, both can have a bit of similarities. The speed, reflexes, technical prowess, IQ, timing, counterpunching, lateral movement. It's just too much from Floyd. I don't think Bud could take much from Floyd's game plan to implement it into his own success in September. And then you have Dimitri. The speed, the technical prowess, the IQ, the length is too much. So essentially, Terence Crawford is going to have to beat Canelo in a way that nobody has ever beaten him or gave him any issues in. I'm going to tell you exactly how Crawford's going to fight. He's going to fight like his damn self. It's too late in his career to change up the game plan. It's too late in his career for him to want to change up the game plan coming to a fight of this magnitude with a style he's never fought before. That will be a recipe for disaster. He's going to be more than likely off the back foot. He's going to be looking for counter shots. And I think there will be a point in this fight where he's simply just trying to survive. I like Crawford. He's an amazing pound-for-pound fighter. A different animal at 168. This is one of the greatest of all time. I see win scenarios for him, but I don't see him being realistic. I can see him fighting off the back foot, using his speed, timing, and feet to stay away from Canelo, but that's very, very, very unlikely, damn near impossible.
Nico Ali Walsh, a promising young boxer and commentator, has weighed in on the fight, highlighting the close nature of the contest. Walsh pointed out that Crawford's recent sparring sessions with heavyweight fighters showcased his ability to handle larger opponents, which could give him an edge in facing the bigger Canelo. This observation adds nuance to the discussion, suggesting that Crawford has prepared to counteract the size and power disadvantage through rigorous training and experience against heavier sparring partners. Walsh believes that this preparation makes the fight a genuine 50-50 proposition, where either fighter could emerge victorious. His analysis reflects the unpredictability and excitement surrounding the matchup, where both fighters bring distinct strengths and challenges, making it difficult to definitively pick a winner.
Of Canelo's team. Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been my favorite fighter for the longest time. But, you know, I have to be Team Bud because me and Bud are cool. And I have so much belief in Bud. And I know who he is as a fighter. He is one of the greats. So he could do anything, you know, he wants.
And being around both of them and seeing how they work and train and things like that, what makes both of them the fighters they are, in your opinion?
I've watched Bud, so for Bud in particular, he's calm in everything he does, and that kind of calm is scary to watch because it shows experience. You can see that he's been doing this for decades. You can see it with his shadow boxing.
Legendary trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas provides a balanced perspective on the Canelo versus Crawford debate. Atlas acknowledges Canelo's advantages in power, size, and physical strength, noting these attributes are significant factors in any fight. However, he equally credits Crawford's technical skill set, ring IQ, speed, and passion as potent weapons. Atlas frames the contest as a true clash of styles and strengths, where physicality meets technical excellence. He emphasizes that both fighters bring qualities that could tip the scales in their favor, making it a highly competitive and evenly matched bout. According to Atlas, the fight's outcome hinges on who executes their strategy more effectively on fight night. This makes the contest a genuine 50-50th fight, with valid arguments supporting either side's chances of victory.
Well, come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." You know, but who's he beating? He unified the what was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified like 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight. Guys are tired of me saying it. I look at him. Look, Canelo's special too. I get it. And he's bigger. I get that too. And everyone's going to say, well, after Madrimov fight again, had a couple hiccups. Now he's stepping up another weight class. Now he's got to fight Canelo, who's even bigger, stronger, better puncher, a unified champion that he's been, all of that stuff. He's not going to be able to handle it. I asked this question. See, I go to the other side. I say, okay, yeah, can Canelo handle the smaller guy who's going to be faster, who's going to be slicker, who's going to be better defensively, who's going to have better legs, who's going to be able sometimes Canelo at this point in his career can slow down a little bit. They're both getting older. I get it.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.